This is a video for the people who are vehemently for radical amounts of gun control. The only thing that's wrong with most of the ideas you guys have is that they don't work in reality. You can dig back through every gun law that's ever been enacted, every single one, and you will not find a single statistic that shows that they reduced the amount of gun violence in this country, the amount of gun violence with a specific type of weapon even. The Brady Law, which is the one that you guys are so psychotic about, I can't believe they let that expire, did nothing when it was on the books. That's why they let it expire. Yes, these laws sound good, they make us feel safe, they don't work. They don't work because they're not enforced. Most of them are unenforceable on any kind of realistic level. But the main reason they don't work is because the people who would follow these laws, the people who have their heads on straight and are good, decent people who actually give a shit about what is or isn't legal, aren't the people who wake up one day and decide to go shoot up a school. Okay, do I personally feel that people need semi-automatic 30-clip AR-15s? No, I don't. There's no legitimate reason why anybody should feel they need one of those, for any reason. However, there's no reason they shouldn't be allowed to have them either. I mean, all of this talk about how, well, if they didn't have such high capacities, they could only kill 6 people instead of 15. Okay, you're putting a Band-Aid over a gaping wound with that law. You're not solving the problem. You're not even touching the cause of horrible fucking things like the Sandy Hook shooting. He wasn't able to kill all those kids because of the weapon he had. That's not how they died. They died because that guy was mentally disturbed as fuck and was able to get his hands on any weapon that just happened to be the one he got. You know, the whole argument of, well, if it has fewer rounds, then I'll have to reload sooner and more children could have been saved, doesn't apply in that situation at all. Cops were not on the scene until long after most of it was done. I mean, nothing could have been prevented. None of those children, the teachers, nobody could have stopped him just because he had to reload 6, 7 rounds sooner. Hell, even I'll give you 20 rounds sooner. Wouldn't have stopped anything. Just meant he would have been carrying more ammo on him. Technically not. He would have just been carrying more magazines. Big deal. Somebody whose mind is in that place isn't going to give a shit how many magazines they have to carry. They're not going to decide not to do it because, damn, if I have to reload 20 rounds sooner, I might get stopped. They're not thinking straight. This shit that makes logical sense to us does not apply to these people. They are not here on reality with the rest of us. They're off in some la-la land where shooting up a school full of kids seems like a good fucking idea in the first place. It's wrong. Every gun law that has ever been enacted failed to reduce gun violence of any type in this country. That's verifiable fact. You can take the time to look it up. And if you don't, you'd rather just sit there and spout, we could do this and feel better. But just look it up. Many gun laws, which are on the books, they don't do fuck all. I mean, shit, in most states, it's illegal to own a gun without a trigger lock. Show me one case where somebody actually got cited for that. The cop just came into their house and said, hey, you have a registered gun. I'm here to make sure it's got a trigger lock on it. It'll never happen. Because these laws, even though they're common sense laws, they're shit that if you have a gun and you have children, maybe you should make sure they can't, A, get to the fucking gun, B, even if they do, couldn't possibly fire it. No, people don't have common sense. We had to make laws for that shit. And then the only people who needed those laws are the ones who wouldn't have done it without them because they were afraid of getting in trouble somehow. It's fucking stupid. Okay? Guns exist. They're going to continue to exist. And now, the same token, all the people sitting there going, Obama's trying to take my guns. Fuck you. No, he's not. Don't be fucking retarded. No one's going to come and take your guns away. Not because they can't and you won't let them, but because they have no fucking desire to. Okay? The only people who want guns gone are the people who are afraid of guns in general. Anyone who's ever been taught how to fire a gun, taught how to safely use a gun, keep one safe, proper gun use is not afraid of them and is not afraid of other people having them. It's not guns that are the problem. It's the fact that guns get into the hands of people with serious mental fucked up problems that is the problem. And unfortunately, there is no way to stop that from happening. Because you can pass every law in the world to regulate it, and that's not going to stop it. Because they're still going to get them if they want them. Just like people who decide they're going to rob banks. They'll walk in with Uzis and MAC-10s and every fucking thing else. Why? Because the people who are going to do bad are going to find a way to do it regardless. Okay? All the gun laws in the world will only keep already honest people honest. They will only apply to the people who actually get guns registered. People who follow all the rules, those are the people who aren't going to go and decide to go fucking shoot up places. Sure, they'll help you catch that odd guy who shoots his wife or her boyfriend because he caught him cheating. Oh, registered gun, bam, 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 open, shut. It'll help in those instances. But these people who are going off the fucking hinges, chances are they're not going to have a registered gun. And 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter whether the gun was registered or not, or any of this other bullshit, because they kill themselves. Either by shooting themselves or death by cop. I mean, all of these laws are nothing but a security blanket. So you can go, oh, there's all these laws. Now they can't do it. Yes, they fucking can. Wake up. The laws aren't going to help. They're not going to stop anything. What needs to be done is better psychiatric care and screening of people applying for guns. That is shit that can be enforced very easily. Any place that's going to sell a gun legally has to have a license to do so. Just like alcohol. Boom. You set them up. You do the same thing they do for fucking DUIs and when they send people into quickie marts and shit to, that look underage and they do stings. Oh, you're selling booze and cigarettes to kids. Do the same shit. Have somebody go in there and they didn't even ask them for any kind of medical history, psych exam. These are rules and laws that can be enacted, that can be enforced to a degree. Okay, instead of just the 5-day cool down period so you don't get pissy and shoot somebody, you enact the, oh, by the way, background check for every fucking gun. And not just the do you have any felonies background check. That should also include medical history. Schizophrenia, any of that shit comes up, bipolar disorder, sorry, you can't get a gun. At least, not from here. You have to get some kind of special paperwork or, something that says you're allowed to have one, even though you have these medical. That's something that can help reduce this shit from happening. Laws restricting what kinds of guns can be owned and bought aren't going to fucking do anything. They're not. So, you just need to wake the fuck up and acknowledge what the problem is. It's not guns. It's the wrong people being allowed to get a hold of guns. And those are laws that are way easier to enforce. And calm the fuck down. No one's taking your guns. Alright? Your guns are safe. Unless you assholes actually go crazy and start threatening the world with your guns, then fuck it. They can take your guns. I don't give a shit. I don't have any. I don't feel the need to have any. Doesn't mean I think other people shouldn't be allowed to either. Anyway. Oh, I got a new camera. Yeah. Now you can see just how fat I fucking am. Word. Anyway. That's all I really had to say. Fuck it. No one's listening anyway.